Well, good morning. Here it is, Thursday. It's Thursday. Excuse me. It's January the 6th. We're flying through this week, and it's supposed to be colder today and tomorrow. But you know what? We'll get through it. Hope you stay warm today. But anyway, hope you're doing well. This morning, I want to talk about being in God's presence. Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 7, it says, Moses was 120 years old when he died, yet his eyesight was clear, and he was as strong as ever. As we get older, we realize that, we have limitations. And, sometimes when people, do get older, they begin to disconnect. They not only retire from their work, but sometimes they retire from their spiritual lives, also. You see, that wasn't the case with Moses, in the Old Testament. He finished his race well. The Bible tells us in Deuteronomy 34, verse 1, that he went up to Mount Nebo from the plains of Moab, and he climbed Pisgah Peak, which is across from Jericho. Now, at this time, Moses was 120 years old at this point. And so I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty impressed that he could climb this mountain. And he made it to the very top. And then the Bible continues on. It goes on to say in verses 2 through 4 of Deuteronomy 34, and the Lord showed him the whole land, from Gilead as far as Dan, all the land of Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah extending to the Mediterranean Sea, the Negev, the Jordan Valley with Jericho, the city of palms as far as Zoar. Then the Lord said to Moses, this is the land I promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when I said, I will give it to your descendants. I have now allowed you to see it with your own eyes, but you will not enter the land. Now, God didn't do this, to depress Moses, because he'd already, Moses had that moment and when he struck the rock and he wasn't supposed to, and God had told him that he wasn't going to get to go to the promised land. You see, rather, what he was doing here, he was basically saying to Moses, he was saying, look, Moses, here's the land. I keep my promises. I'm going to do what I said I would do. You see, Moses, he understood, that he was going to die, yet he wasn't afraid of it. Listen, he finished his race well. He didn't hesitate. What God told him he wasn't going, but he knew that he could finish what God had set out to accomplish in him. If you're a Christian, listen, you don't have to be afraid to die. Either, because listen, in fact, remember the Apostle Paul here reminds us that in Philippians 1:21, to live is Christ and to die is gain. And why is dying gain for the Christian? Well, it's because we go to heaven, into the very presence of God. The Bible tells us that we as believers, we're only sojourners in this land that we're living here on earth right now. This is our temporary home until either God takes us home by death, as he did Moses, or Jesus returns. I truly believe that we are living in the last days. And so I pray daily that God would help me finish my race well, to be doing what God has called me to do. And that's taking the gospel and preaching it and sharing with people, as I have opportunity. And I hope that you will do the same thing. Just because we get older in age doesn't mean that God is finished with us. We may retire from our secular jobs, but God still has things for us to do. And I hope that you'll realize that and that you will finish your race well. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're certainly praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.